this cross member, then we'll weld this and then just powder coat the whole thing.
What I like about wrenching is pretty much having the feel of doing it yourself. You know, having something you can show off and be like, yeah, I did all of this. It's really fast, it's a lot of fun, and I build every bit of it, and I love it.
There's just something about it, just the performance of the cars. It's not just the looks of a car. I mean, it can sit there, but how fun is that? You got to drive it, and just it's so much fun to add on new parts to your car and feel like you've accomplished something, and then be able to test it out. It's an adrenaline rush, and it just keeps getting better and better with technology.
Around every corner, the challenge is about making it new school while keeping it old school.
With a lot of our suspension parts, it'll help it hook up, ride new age, ride almost to par with the newer car, but it will still have that horsepower, that rear-wheel drive that all the old school guys remember, but have that ride. I did it steering columns. They have awesome columns. We're using Hotchkiss suspension and QA1 springs and shocks, and it's like we're putting the best of the best suspension on this thing. So it's going to ride awesome. It's going to rip and grip just like the 572 should.
But none of the new parts down below will mean a thing if the body isn't perfect.
It's got to be at least half the battle, probably more, towards the 75% mark is all about prep, because if you skip a step, if you've got, mud on the car and you get contaminants in the mud, it will bubble over time and the paint job will look just ruined in that spot.
At the moment, it's a part of the installation that requires a bit more weight on the project.
I don't think many people really care for prep too much, but the finished product is always just, that's what it's all about, Paint, wheels, and tires is what everybody remembers. Unless you have an interior that took, a whole year or 2 years to develop, normally it's the exterior of the car that people are going to remember forever. So.
The most challenging thing about building a car for not just GM, but anybody else in general, is when you put your sweat, your blood, and your tears into a vehicle, it's your baby. And you think you know what's best for the car, and maybe that's not what the customer wants. That's the most challenging thing, is letting it go.
As Gary and the gang experience just another day at work, the paint is still on an ever-evolving and even rotating set of plans. Phil is our resident computer expert, and he shows us just some of the many possibilities.
Based off of Adam's original renderings, we plugged them into the computer. GM wanted to see several different color schemes and just photoshopping. We could go through and plug tons of different variations of colors in. Initially, we wanted to use brand new GM colors. We were trying to stick with earth tone colors. It really didn't work out. They wanted a bright, flashy color. And so we plugged those in, and you can instantly see what the color will look like on the vehicle. What we decided to do was to go with an orange. We're going to try doing a ghosted stripe. Our backup plan is going to go with black stripes if those don't turn out too well.
So there is a plan, but then again, it might change.
All right, I think we're all set. We made all the repairs to the body of the Chevelle, and I think it's time to get this thing in primer. So let's get it off the frame rack onto our dolly, and we'll take it over to the paint booth. You guys ready? Hey, let's go. 1, 2, 3, go. All right.
That's pretty good. It's not going anywhere? Perfect.
This is turning out to be a cool way to spend the summer.
Gary came up to me and said, you know, this build is going to be just off the hook. You want to be part of it? And I was like, let me think for half a second. Yeah, definitely. So,
you know, I felt excited about it. It's like, oh, there's going to be a Hot Rod magazine coming in. Like, you guys are going to be on national television, and this is like the opportunity I've been waiting for.
When he first picked me to be on the build, I was in shock. Like, wow, we're one of 8 kids selected to be at SEMA building a show car that's going to represent GM. It's a great feeling.
I believe there is an extension of your creativity that goes into every vehicle. Any vehicle that you're involved in the build, just any hands-on work really goes into the shape, the style of the car, and how well it turns out.
But man, you know, we dream about it being at SEMA, having it all done and having that unveiling. There's nothing better than that, to know that your 100 days weren't wasted.
And as we leave this school, we're soon back at General Motors, as the 572 is about to get the exam of its young life. We're in GM's dyno room, and we're here to see what's what.
This is what's going to go in that little Chevelle that you guys have been working on for the last couple of weeks. We're going to run a dyno test here in just a minute to see if the published numbers match up to real-world situations.
Okay, well, let's go run it and see what happens.
The team can't wait to see the numbers.
Here we go. While warming the engine, we want to be very careful and keep our eyes in the cell to ensure that no hoses are failing or fluid leaks are occurring or any other conditions that could basically cause a termination of the test.
Time to turn up the heat.
The recommendation for the high end is 6,000 RPM, and I wouldn't surpass that. You know, they've put a lot of work in engineering that package, so you know there's no reason to challenge what they've done. Yeah, 647. So we're 650 torque as advertised, near 4,500 RPM. You got 620 horsepower at 5,500, basically right on the nose. That's good. Anybody have any questions?
Here's one. Can a car from 1970 with a new 572 engine go fast enough to create its own time warp? Well, only time will tell. General Motors works with Washtenaw Community College. Their goal? Take a student-built 1970 Chevelle to this year's SEMA show and wow the crowd with a 620-horse marvel. On campus, the kids made headway with the deconstructed body, and it's time for GM to deliver one of their pieces of the bargain, a new 572 engine.
How you doing? Hey, as promised.
Good. 572?
620 horsepower in the box.
Looking good, looking good.
Let's take that top off.
Cool. You guys ready for some zip guns? Open this box up, see what we got. Cool, let's pop the top.
Who knew this much fun could come in a box?
Beautiful. Wish I had 2 of them sitting in my living room at home. I wouldn't need end tables. It's great, man.
They get it out of the crate and ready for the chassis. And as it all starts to look mighty impressive, Chance is excited by the quality of the entire package.
Right now, what's grabbing me the most about the car is the chassis. The frame, the whole suspension setup, engine, transmission, it's immaculate. I would take the frame and put it in my living room. It's so great. It's incredible. I love this car.
And the other students also love this car, starting with the 572.
The 572, it's an awesome motor. We saw it dynoed. It's incredible. The motor, it's amazing what they can do and have it out of the box perform that great. It's amazing that we actually get to have it to put into a car like this.